Homework, wow. Organizational behavior is the study of what people think, feel, and do in and around organizations. Organizations are groups of people who work interdependently towards some purpose. Why is organizational behavior important for you? I guess there was a thing about communication. Oh, shut up my life. Better personal theories to predict and influence. Organizational behaviors for everyone. Why is OB important for organizations? Organizational effectiveness, an ideal state in which an organization has a good fit with its external environment, effectively transforms inputs to outputs through human capital and satisfies the needs of key stakeholders. Open systems. The view that organizations depend on the external environment for resources affects that environment through their output. The view that organizations depend on the external environment for resources affects that environment through their output and consists of internal subsystems that transform inputs to outputs. Organizations as open systems. Human capital as the organization's competitive advantage. Organizations and their stakeholders. Human capital, the knowledge, skills, abilities, creative thinking, and other valued resources that employees bring to the organization, stakeholders, individuals, groups, and other entities that affect or are affected by the organization's objectives and actions. values, relatively stable evaluative beliefs that guide a person's preferences for outcomes or courses of action in a variety of situations. Corporate social responsibility, organizational activities intended to benefit society and the environment beyond the firm's immediate financial interests or legal obligations. That would have been nice to look at for our assignment, for our previous team activity. Anchors of behavior knowledge, the systematic research anchor. Evidence-based management, the practice of making decisions and taking actions based on research evidence. The practical orientation anchor. The multidisciplinary anchor, the contingency anchor, the multiple levels of analysis anchor, individual, team, and organization. The emerging workplace landscape. Diversity and inclusive workplace. Inclusive workplace, a workplace that values people of all identities. You know what? I'm just going to read the definitions. A workplace that people allows them to be fully themselves while contributing to the organization. Surface level diversity. The observable demographic or physiological differences in people such as their race, ethnicity, gender, age, and physical disabilities. Deep level diversity differences in the psychological characteristics of employees, including personalities, beliefs, values, and attitudes. Work-life integration, the degree that people are effectively engaged in their various work and non-work roles. The degree that people are effectively engaged in their various work and non-work. The degree that people are effectively engaged in their various work and non-work. And have a low degree of role conflict across those life domains. I'm sending an email right now about that assignment. It's such like a... I feel like it's just such a unnecessary and mean thing to do to give us. First of all, she literally gave us a freaking perfect source for the assignment and said, nope, you're not allowed to use this. And I'm going to just ask point blank, can we use this source? Because she didn't really answer the question. Like, yeah, she said we have to use external sources, which implies I'm not allowed to use this source. But it seems ridiculous that we're not allowed to use this source. That's the thing about it. So you're seriously saying we're not allowed to use this? You provided us with the source of definitions of words, and then you're like, okay, now let's do a full assignment where there are 15 terms, and you're not allowed to use this source I gave you already. Then why did you give us the source then? What's the point of giving us that source if we're not going to use it? I wonder if this thing has every single term that we need. Like, they don't actually have African American people as a listed term here. So at least there's that. Huh. Racism, sexism. They do have racism. Probably sexism. Oh, this is interesting. How on earth is sexism not here? This is literally the exact type of source that it would have that. And they don't? Oh, okay then. They still have tons of terms. They probably have most of these terms, like gender. I'm just going through and looking and seeing what terms they have. They don't have gender. They don't have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the first 5 terms. That is really interesting. What on earth is this source? Discrimination. There's discrimination. I wish I could place a mark next to the ones that they do have. They have racism, discrimination, prejudice. So that's 3. Homophobic. They don't have homophobic, so they have 3 so far. Racism. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, I think I looked at this already. It was terrible. This was a terrible definition. But 6. Cultural appropriation. 7. Diversity. 8. Multicultural competency. 9. They have 9 of the 15 terms here are in this thing here. I'm going to send an email and be like, so we're not allowed to use this source? Even though it's literally a glossary for these 2 words? I feel like the critical race theory one is not a very good definition. And I have to send the email now so that I can get it done early. I was not going to wait till later. There, I sent the email. Now we go back to our studying. Dang it. Don't have a definition of remote work. Mars model. A model. I have to go to the bathroom. That's funny. way. You want us to get a definition from multiple perspectives. So you're like, let's just give this one, and now you have to find a different one for the assignment. A Morris model, a model depicting the four variables: motivation, ability, perceptions, and situational factors that directly influence an individual's voluntary behavior and performance. Motivation, the forces within a person that affect his work or direction intensity. The forces within a person that affect his work or direction intensity and persistence of voluntary behavior, ability, the natural aptitudes and learned capabilities required to successfully complete a task. The degree to which a person understands the job duties assigned to him or expected of him or her. Situational factors are situational factors. Types of individual behavior. Task performance, the individual's voluntary, goal-directed behaviors that contribute to organizational objectives. Proficient task performance refers to performing the work efficiently and accurately. Adaptive task performance refers to how well employees modify their thoughts and behavior to align with and support a new or changing environment. Proactive task performance refers to how well employees take the initiative to anticipate and introduce new work patterns that benefit the organizational citizenship behaviors, various forms of cooperation, and helpful to others. Various forms of cooperation and helpfulness to others. That support the organization's social and psychological context. Wow, that was fun. Counterproductive work behaviors, voluntary behaviors that have the potential to directly or indirectly harm the organization. Define organizational behavior and organizations. Organizational behavior is the study of what people think. Organizational behavior is the study of what people think, feel, and do in and around organizations. It examines how individuals and teams in organizations relate to one another and how organizations interact with their external environments. This field of knowledge emerged around the early 1940s, but organizations have been studied by other disciplines for more than 2,000 years. Organizations are groups of people who work interdependently towards some purpose. They consist of people who interact with one another in an organized way and have a collective sense of purpose. Organizational behavior is important for you because it offers a core foundation of knowledge and skill development for your success in organizations. The skills and knowledge that employers look for in new hires above anything else are the topics found in organizational behavior, including problem solving, working effectively in teams, communication, and leadership more broadly. OB helps you adopt better personal theories to understand, predict, and influence organizational events. OB knowledge is for everyone, not just managers. OB theories and practices are vital to the organization's survival and success. In fact, most OB theories implicitly or explicitly try to improve organizational effectiveness, an ideal state in which an organization has a good fit. With its external environment effectively transforms inputs to outputs. It effectively transforms answer to output to human capital and satisfies the needs of key stakeholders. Organizational behavior knowledge is highly relevant to the open systems view of organizations by identifying organizational characteristics that fit some external environments and others. OB theories offer guidance on how to effectively transform inputs to outputs. OB is also important for organizations because it identifies ways for organizations to develop and leverage the potential of human capital, the knowledge, skills, abilities, creativity, and other valuable resources that employees bring to the organization. Several organization behavior topics all skills of better understanding of relations with stakeholders. Relationships. Individuals, groups, and other entities that affect or are affected by the organization's objectives and actions. This latter focus includes the role of personal values. The relatively stable evaluative beliefs that guide a person's preferences for outcomes or courses of action in a variety of situations and corporate social responsibility. Organizational activities intended to benefit society and the environment beyond the firm's immediate financial interests or legal obligations. Describe the anchors on which organizational behavior knowledge is based. The systematic research anchor states that OB knowledge should be based on systematic research consistent with evidence-based management. The practical orientation anchor states that OB theories need to be useful in practice, such as by helping organizations become more effective. The multidisciplinary anchor states that the field should develop from knowledge in other disciplines, psychology, sociology, economics, not just from its own isolated research base. The contingency anchor states that OB theories generally need to consider that there will be different consequences in different situations. The multiple levels of analysis anchor states that OB topics may be viewed from the individual, team, or organization levels of analysis. Summarize the workplace strengths of diversity and the inclusive workplace work-life integration. Remote work and emerging employment relationships. An inclusive workplace values people of all identities and allows them to be fully themselves while contributing to the organization. Infuse diversity. Well, at least our next activity, our next TM activity isn't due till for 2 or 3 weeks. Wait, it's the 29th, right? So, 19 days, that's 2.5 weeks. It views diversity as a valued resource. An organization's workforce has both surface-level diversity and organizations As well, surface-level diversity of visible demographic and other differences in people, and deep-level diversity, differences in personalities, beliefs, values, and attitudes. Inclusive workplaces produce better decisions. Employee attitudes, team performance, and a host of other favorable outcomes for employees in the organization are analysis for themselves, such as dysfunctional conflict and slower team development. Work-life integration refers Work-life integration refers to the degree that people are effectively engaged in their various work and non-work roles and have a low degree of role conflict across those life domains. Various work and non-work roles are inherently integrated because the physical, cognitive, and emotional resources produced or consumed by one role potentially enrich or undermine the success and enjoyment of other roles. There are several ways to maximize work-life integration, such as doing things that mix the roles, engage in flexible work scheduling, ensure that work and non-work roles are aligned with your personal characteristics, and engage in some degree of boundary management across roles. An increasing percentage of the workforce performs their job remotely, some or all of the time. rather than at the organization's physical work site. Some organizations are completely remote. Everyone works at home in cafes, and the company has no physical head office. Working remotely potentially benefits employees and employers, but there are also disadvantages. The effectiveness of remote work depends on the employer, job, and organization. Most of the workforce has a direct employment relationship, working as an employee for an organization, but an increasing percentage has more gradual direct employment relationships, part-time, on-call. Etc. The largest labor market growth has been indirect, outsourced, agency, and contract work. Some contractors negotiate their own contracts with the client, whereas others work through branded platform companies, e.g. Uber. These emerging employment relationships have both positive and negative consequences for job performance, job satisfaction, team dynamics. Self-concept stability, and clarity and the ambiguity of managerial roles describe the 4 factors that directly influence. Describe the 4 factors that directly influence. Describe the 4 factors that directly influence individual behavior and performance. 4 variables: motivation, ability, role perceptions, and situational factors, which are represented by the acronym MARS. Directly influence individual behavior and performance. Motivation represents the forces within a person that affect his or her direction, intensity, and persistence of voluntary behavior. Ability includes both the natural aptitudes and the learned capabilities required to successfully complete a task. Role perceptions are the extent to which people understand the job duties, roles assigned to them or expected of them, and situational factors include conditions beyond the employee's immediate control, like constraint or facilitate behavior and performance. Summarize the 5 types of individual behavior in organizations. Summarize the 5 types of individual behavior in organizations. There are 5 main types of workplace behavior. Task performance refers to goal-directed behaviors under the individual's control that support organizational objectives. It includes proficiency, adaptivity, and proactivity. Organizational citizenship behaviors consist of various forms of cooperation and helpfulness to others that support the organization's social and psychological context. Counterproductive work behaviors are voluntary behaviors that have the potential to directly or indirectly harm the organization. Joining and staying with the organization refers to agreeing to become an organizational member and remain with the organization. Maintaining work attendance includes minimizing absenteeism when capable of working and avoiding scheduled work when not fit. Let's see who responded to who. Cool. Okay. I hate writing emails too. Sounds goo. Let's just send it. Sounds goo. Actually, thanks, because I'm thanking him for doing that. For packaging it up with a contract to submit. also thanking for the compliment of the paper looks real solid. So anyways, there. Good to go there. Oh, man. Are we done studying? I think we're done. We're done studying the chapter. Oh my goodness. That was funny.